got the plant-based brother who gonna use even G little fancy over there. I'm gonna try to get GNS3 going for y'all. Today's lab is configuring LLDP. This is kind of like yesterday's lab, except LLDP is similar. Yesterday we did CDP, which is Cisco Discovery Protocol. Basically, it's a protocol. It's basically like allows you to see neighboring devices that are Cisco, right? It gives you information on that neighboring device that's connected to you. LLDP is the same thing, except it gives you information on a device that's connected to you, but it's not Cisco. So it could be a Juniper device, it could be a MikroTik device, it could be you know, some other brand, Juniper or something like that. And what else we got going on here? Arista. We got Brendan in the building. We got S Move representing BK in the house. Y'all can hear me, right? Today we are doing GNS3. I'm gonna try. I did reboot this computer. It did say that there was a new version out, and I did not accept it. So let's see if configuring LLDP. If you guys want to follow along, the book we are using is called 101 Labs Cisco CCNA version 4. You can get a copy of this book from 101labs.net, or there's going to be a link in the description box below. It is an affiliate link. I do get paid commission for it if you click it and get the book. Got to get my water in. Yeah, I know I get in a gallon, sometimes even 2 gallons a day. I just lost like 10 pounds. Y'all know I'm just trying to make life a little different for myself, man. Plant-based brother, we haven't seen you in a minute, plant-based brother. Brian got his CCNA. I told you Brian was gonna do it, man. I knew Brian was gonna do it. We gotta celebrate Brian. Right now, you get a couple bruhs. Maybe some other time I'll do some kind of giveaway. You know, the next giveaway I think I'm gonna do. Last time I did a giveaway when I had like 1,000 subscribers. I think I'm gonna do another giveaway when I get to about 5,000 or something like that. I wanted a milestone like 10,000 subs or something like that. But Brian said, "Thanks, NetworkBruh. You had a part in this, man. I appreciate it. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's all you. I couldn't make you lab. I couldn't really make you subnet. I couldn't make you, you know, turn on launch packet tracer and do these labs and stuff like that. I couldn't make you do all of that. So yes, I might have been a part of it, but it's all you. So congrats on Brian Connor passing his CCNA. But yeah, I'm glad that I was able to help, man. We did create a new one, didn't I? What happened to it? I said configuring LLDP. Was I not paying attention there? Let's do that again. Yeah, I thought I named it. Let's see. Configuring VTP. What happened to it? I wasn't paying attention, y'all. Or what about just LLDP? I don't see it in there either. Let's do that over again. So yeah, y'all, this is gonna be very similar to yesterday's lab. Again, this is kind of like CDP, but so a couple fun facts about CDP. Well, the lab purpose says configuring and applying the LLDP or Link Layer Discovery Protocol allows network devices to discover other network devices directly connected to them. This is a fundamental skill that provides the same benefit as CDP does, just like I said, but it's also compatible with non-Cisco equipment. So, you know, like I said, Juniper, MikroTik, Arista, Extreme Networks. There's all kind of other devices, but if they support LLDP, and you'll see what you can do here. I don't have any other brands on here now that I think about it. So yeah, all I got is some Cisco Cisco devices in here. But either way, we should be able to see the next device using CDP. So hang on a second, y'all, real quick. Not CDP, LLDP. Oh, interesting. Interesting. All right, so for this lab, we just need 2 routers. We're gonna have router 1 on the left-hand side and then router 3 for some reason on the right-hand side. I'm gonna just drag another one. I'm most likely gonna be router 2 in this case. So just drag and drop 2 devices. I'm sure pretty much everybody's in here so far. We don't want to wait. Let's just try to knock this out, y'all. I usually like to wait till we get some stragglers come in. Sometimes some people, I noticed that when I was doing the search for myself, y'all realize I try to figure out ways to try to get more views and stuff too, like that, right? So I go on YouTube, right, and just type in, like, say a topic. Let's just say, I don't know, CCNA, right? And then you can see the latest CCNA videos that pop up. If somebody does that right about now, my feed will, my videos will come up because it'll say, oh, this guy's live. Why don't you go ahead and chime in on him, because he got a fire channel if you studied about CCNA. So that's why I like to wait a little bit in case somebody's looking for some stuff and they might run into this channel here. But anyways, let's go ahead and cable this up and just get this knocked out of the way, right? So FA00 to FA00, just like that, right? Let's go ahead and power these bad boys on. Do I want to start all devices? Yes. Y'all with me so far? Y'all with me so far? Which lab number in the book? My bad. Lab number 33. Lab number 33, which is page 139 if you got this book. Thanks, y'all. I'll just go for it. And wireless will give you the hardest time in the test. Yes, it will, Brian. That is one of the hardest. To me, I think automation would be the hardest part because I don't know about automation. So can I use packet tracer instead? Yes, Nomar. Yes, you can. Just drag 2 routers just like that and cable them up just like this right here. Really easy, simple lab, man. Never mind. I see it. Lab number 33. Yes. Need to find a job where I can test my skills and eventually end up like my bruh. You know what? The good way to start out, most people will tell you, like, help desk to start out in the IT field. If you can get a chance, get into a NOC or Network Operations Center. That allows you to, it's an entry-level based job, and you get to at least log into networking devices. And 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be able to configuring things. You're going to be just running show commands and being able to read logs and learning how to log into SSH devices and telnet into devices and try to gather some basic information on them and stuff like that. See how they're connected to other devices. You're going to be using CDP or, like we are doing today, Lldp. See what's the neighboring device. Pinging and trace routing, just basic networking stuff. You want to do that type of job instead of like help desk, as opposed to what I did. I started out doing like as a PC technician, then I did help desk, desktop support, and then I worked, and then I realized I don't want to do desktop support no more. I want to do something that's networking, and that's how my first networking job was working as a NOC technician, network operations center. Basically, you're just monitoring devices. A switch goes down or a router goes down, you figure out why was wrong with it. You ping it. Why is it down? You find out if there's power and stuff like that. And then maybe if a router is down, maybe it's just the telco issue. So you got to contact the ISP. 9 times out of 10, that's what you're going to have to do. And then if it requires physical intervention, then you're just going to have to call somebody on site, because most of the time a networking job is going to be remote. So you're going to be working in a network operations center, or since post-COVID, a lot of networking operation centers went remote. So 9 times out of 10, it'll be a remote job. So Brian, if I were you, I would try to work in a NOC. Just like, I believe, who was it that said that? Buddy from Buenos Aires. I can't remember. What's his name? Are you in here? Gonzalo. Gonzalo said he applied for a network job, NOC job, didn't you, Gonzalo? So yeah, if you get a chance, try to work there. Let's console into these bad boys, right? Console in router 1 and router 2. The first task in the lab was, if you guys are ahead of me, that's fine. Go ahead and do that, man. So yeah, lab number 33. Configure the host names, router 1 and router 3. I'm going to name it router 1 and router 2, which they probably already are by default. Yes, that's router 1, and this guy is router 2, so we don't have to worry about that. Configure the IP addresses on the Ethernet interfaces. So we're going to interface FA00, the IP address is 172.116.1.1. The other is going to be 1.2. So I'll label it just in case, you know, somebody's new in here and they just want to know. It makes it a little easier for some of y'all for demonstration purposes, right? So that's FA00. And then let's move those labels right there. Label. He's going to be 172.16.1.1. Y'all don't have to do this. I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes. /26, Fat Finger Squad in the building. 16, 1.1, right? That's going to be that interface. The other interface is going to be same thing. We'll duplicate that bad boy and make him 1.2. Anybody know what /26 in the subnet mask for that CIDR? That's a CIDR notation. What's /26? Do y'all remember? I'm gonna do it in my head, right? It is 255. So it's 0, so it's 128. That's 64. So 255.255.255.64 should be, right? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Not wrong. No, it's not 64. What am I thinking? 192 to 224, right? So 255.255.255.224. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Y'all see how I did that in my head, right? The more you do this stuff, the more you like be able to subnet just like that. But notice it took me a little bit to register my little abacus calculator head. It takes me a little bit, right? But yeah, correct me if I'm wrong if that's wrong there. So we got to configure that interface, right? Global config mode. Oh, actually, got to do enable first. Global config mode. No, you got to do. I wasn't in enable mode. What am I thinking? Interface FA00. IP address. Nah, that's smooth. I don't think it's 64, bro. I don't think it's 192 either. Yes, it is. It is 192. It is 192, not 224. It's 192. That's what I meant to say. It's 192. 172.16.1.1, 255.255.255. Now, if I would have been typing it, I would have been able to see it better. But I tried to do it in my head. I was trying to show off, and you can see I'm wrong. So yeah, it's 192 actually. By default, that interface is down, so we got to no shut it, right? We should get a log message, and now it's up, right? Verify our work. Remember, verify our work. And just guess what? My supervisor told me today there was something I kind of missed, and he's like, "Remember what I told you? You're gonna have to verify it, and then when you're done, I want you to verify it. After you're done with that, verify it again." Today, I was working with Nexus switches. I was onboarding them into SolarWinds, which is the monitoring tool, right? I'm like, oh yeah, I just onboarded it. It's up, it's running, it's good to go. He's like, yeah, but they did back up the VDCs. If you don't know anything about VDCs, VDCs are virtual device contexts. They're basically like a switch within a switch, or a logical switch within a switch. So it's kind of like VRFs, but for switches, right? And I was like, yeah, it's being backed up. So I looked in the running configuration. I was like, yeah, see, VDC 1, VDC 2, VDC. He was like, no. That's not the configuration for it. So I'm like, oh, okay. I thought it was. So I started looking in there, and I realized, okay, there is a way you would have to onboard it as another device. So you have the physical switch, and then there's logical switches within it. You got to create a backup for those too. So I didn't verify it. So we always verify. I'm going to keep telling y'all that, just like he tell me that. So show IP interface brief, and we'll see. We did configure it. It is up and up, right? Y'all see it? It's up. And we got to do the same thing on the next switch. Oh my goodness, why is this guy? Okay, so do that. So yeah, he's up. And we can verify the subnet mask, right? With show interfaces FA00, and the subnet mask is /26. So yes, y'all right. It was 192. No, Fat Finger Squad. This is router 2. So router 2 needs to be 1.2. Did anybody catch that? Y'all see? I was not testing y'all. I really didn't. Let's see. Yeah, that was router 2. So router 2 is actually 1.2 and now 1.1. Fat Finger Squad. Unless y'all trying to test me. So let's go back to global config mode for that interface. FA00. IP address is not 1.1 but 1.2. Right? Verify. And now he's 1.2. You see? I did not even catch that until I verified it. All that shit I'm talking, excuse my language, but this is why I got to verify, just like with me. So router 1, now router 1 is 1.1, right? All right, so global config mode interface FA00, and his IP address is 192 IP address. This is section 1.6 in the exam, configuring in the exam. Section 1.6, configuring IP addresses, in case you guys don't know. I'll bring that up. Well, this is part of it, configuring the IP addresses. I'll bring that up in case anybody's new in here. So 172.16.1.1, subnet mask 255.255.250. I mean, not 252, 192. and then no shut him. Do a show IP interface brief, and then he's 1.1 and he's up, right? Next task says, so task 2. Oh yeah, so there is no need to configure the loopback interfaces for this lab. Task 3, we got, how many tasks we got? We have only 5 tasks, and we're at task 3, so we should be able to wrap this up before 8:20, unless I keep talking, because I noticed that my lab's been going like 40 minutes and stuff like that, because I've been just talking. This is why we lab. That's right, plant-based brother. This is why we lab. Always verify, and when you're done, verify it again. Y'all gonna understand. He be saying it be getting me annoying, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I did verify it. I remember when I told you verify and then verify it again when you're done. So section 1.6 in the CCNA lab, right? Y'all see that version 1.0? If you don't know how to configure and verify IP addressing, that's what we're doing. We're also doing LLDP, even though the exam don't say LLDP. When you look, oh yeah, see right there. It's also section 2.3, configure and verify layer 2 discovery protocol. So yesterday we did CDP. Today we're doing LLDP. So y'all getting a wealth of knowledge in this lab today. Task 3, disable. This is a typo I found in this book, y'all. Task 3 says disable CDP globally on both routers. Oh, that's not a typo. I see what they did there. They want us to disable CDP globally. We learned how to do that yesterday, but we didn't disable it. And on both routers, and enable LLDP is disabled by default. So first of all, let's see what we got going on here on router 1, right? We do show, remember we did show yesterday CDP, right? So we can see right now CDP is turned on globally, right? In Packet Tracer, we couldn't have seen that. We was not able to see that in the running config. Remember, we did show run, and it should have been in there on the top somewhere, right? Let's see. No, it's not. What's in there is CDP is turned on globally by default, right? But when you turn it off, then you can see that it's off in the running config, right? So right now it's on, and we can tell by just doing show CDP, right? We can see we're sending CDP packets every 60 seconds. The whole time is every 180 seconds. Remember, yesterday we learned that the whole time value is how long it takes before it discards CDP information. So if I learn about a neighboring device that's CDP, right? So I learn about the neighboring device through CDP, I discard that information after 180 seconds. And then I'm going to send CDP version 2 advertisements. So by default, it's CDP. There's version 1 and version 2. By default, version 1 is enabled, right? So we can turn it off by doing no CDP run. Remember, it's turned on with CDP run. So we're going to global config mode. We're going to turn it off, no CDP run, just like that. So now we turned it off, and we can verify that with what? Show, verify, right? Show CDP like that, and right there it tells us CDP is not enabled. We could also go to running config, and we'll see that it is off, right? Isn't it? Should be somewhere in here. I guess not. Yes, it is. There it is, right there. No CDP run and no CDP log misbatch duplex. So that's the two things that's how you can tell it's off, right? Let's do the same thing on router 2. So go to global config mode, no CDP. Well, let's verify that it's on, right? Verify. Do show CDP, right? And we can see that it's turned on, right? We turn it off, no CDP run, show CDP, or let's just do show CDP, and now CDP is turned off. And they want us to turn on LLDP. And I believe it's the same thing as a CDP. By turning it on, to turn on CDP, you do CDP run, right? To turn off CDP, you do no, right? So with LLDP, you got to do LLDP run, isn't it? I guess not. How you do that? Run LLDP? I can't even remember. Question mark that right there for y'all. What? I thought you turned it on with LLDP run. I guess not. Anybody remember how to turn it on? I don't want to look in the solution lab. I know what to tell us. Anybody remember? Towards the middle. Oh, you talk about the yeah, I guess it is towards, well, it looks like it's towards the end, because yeah, you're right, it's towards the middle. I didn't realize that. Appreciate that, Nomar Nod. Appreciate that tip there. But I thought you guys turned on LLDP with just LLDP run. Configure terminal, LLDP. No, you gotta go. You gotta do it. Well, I know you can do it on the interface, right? Let's go to the interface real quick. FA00 LLD. No, that's not how you do it. Run LLDP. Enable. I believe it's enable and LLDP. Maybe let's try that. Exit. Enable. LL. No. No. Huh. Interesting. LLDP run. That's what I thought it was, man. Oh, it's LLDP run, not run LLDP. LLDP. Interesting. You got to do it by the interface? There's got to be a way to... oh, you got to do it... you don't do it in global config mode. LLDP. Nah, man. What does the... let's just look in the damn... Now, here's another thing I like about this book. Oh, you know what? Maybe this image don't support it. Who knows? Interesting. Huh. Show LLDP neighbors. Interesting. Maybe this doesn't LLDP run worked for me. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. LLDP run. This is what you're supposed to do. But maybe this doesn't support. Maybe this image don't support it. That's really interesting. I should have checked that before this lab, but I figured GNS3 got the full. That's rather interesting. Anybody know, does this image support LLDP? Because it don't look. Yeah, that's what it is. That's how you turn it on. LLDP run, and that's what I thought it was, but it don't look like this image supported. So it looks like I might have to resort to packet tracer again, once again. That's rather interesting. Which image are you using? I am using the this guy right here. So version. What is this? This is version 12.4. That's like a super old one, man. Yeah, that's super old. Let's just go ahead and power on packet tracer. Packet tracer is real quick, so I should be able to do this. I shouldn't be able to knock that out real quick, man. I'll knock that out real quick. Damn. The one day I wanted to use it, and GNS3 decides to not give me a feature that I thought was going to work on it. That's really interesting, man. That is rather interesting, y'all. Come on, man. I need to try to change that. Yeah, that is plant-based brothers like, wow, 12.4. Yeah, that is a very old image, man. Definitely not supported, but I would have figured LLDP would have been at least a feature that that it has, man, but apparently not. So I'm gonna just get two routers going here real quick. Don't worry, I'm gonna knock this out real quick, y'all. He said 172 dot label these cable these bad boys up. Don't worry, I'll do it real quick, y'all. He's booting up. Get these guys out of the way. Don't worry about the labeling for now. So we just gonna knock this bad boy out. This allows people to catch up anyway, right? No, I don't want to do the automated enable. He's hostname router 1, right? And then his interface. I'm gonna use GI00 in this case. And he said it was 172 dot what? 16.1.1. We said the last octet was 192. No shut it. No S. No shit. Y'all ever done that before? You try to no shut it and you no shit it instead. Show IP interface brief. And he's up 172.16.1.1. And then we gotta do the same thing on this guy. No. Enable, configure, he's R2, host name R2, and then his interface GI000, IP address is 172.16.1.2, right? 192, no shut, and then we're saying we wanted to turn off CDP, right? So no CDP run, and then no CDP run on the other guy. No CDP run, and we want to turn on LLDP with LLDP run. See, that works on packet tracer. Man, I need to get another image, y'all. So, all right, so we can verify that this is running with show LLDP, and that lets us know LLDP is running. Advertisements are by default every 30 seconds, as opposed to CDP, which is every 60 seconds, right? The hold timer is 120 seconds. On CDP, I believe it was what? 180? What was it? Let's see. We did show CDP. It was 180. Those are little, little questions that the CCNA might ask you too. Like, by default, how many, how many seconds does the CDP sends those packets, right? So CDP is 60, LLDP is 30. That's a little maybe fun fact y'all might want to remember. Same thing with the hold timer. LLDP interface reinitialization delay is 2 seconds. Not too sure what the reinitialization delay is, but we can look that up if y'all want to. Another quick fun fact. While that is going, let's see here. We need to do the same thing on the other router. Turn it on, but let's see what happens. So we turned off CDP, right? So CDP is turned off on this one now, right? And we do show LLDP. LLDP is turned off also, but we want to turn it on, right? So global config mode, LLDP run, right? So now CDP is on. So we do a show LLDP, LLEP, fat finger squad in the building. So we can see that it's turned on right there. We could also check on the interface, right? So make sure that both router 1 and router 3, it says in the book, but it's router 2, have found each other via the Ethernet links using LLDP, right? So what we want to do is just show LLDP on the actual interfaces. So the way we do that is just add the interface towards the end on the show command. So we just do show LLDP, and then you say GI, or is it interface? Question mark that. Neighbors. Neighbors, and then you put the interface you should be able to do. So let's do neighbors, right? We can see the neighbors right there, right? So we can see, this is from router 1's perspective, right? He's router 1? No, he's router 2. So I forgot this need to be changed right here. So he's router 2 and he is router 1, right? And then we can see from router 2's perspective, right? We can see neighboring devices router 1. My local interface I'm learning it from is GI 000. That's my hold time, right? That's when I discard the LLDP information when I learn it. The capability is R, which stands for router. You'll see there's a legend right here, right? So R lets us know that it's a router. S lets us know it's a station. I thought it would have been switch, but W for access point, and the outgoing port, right? The incoming port. So the other switch is the other device is learning about me through his gig 000 interface, right? Y'all got any questions so far or anything like that? Or has anybody learned what the the initialization delay is? I'm using version iOS 15.6. So yeah, it looks like I need to step my game up because I'm running some old ass iOS's, man. It's all good though, man. I'm gonna do that. Make sure I get that that newer version downloaded. So we can also do show LLDP neighbors and then add a detail keyword towards the end, and we'll get more information, right? So we could see the chassis ID. So that's like the MAC address of the next device, the port ID right there, the port description, the host name right there. We can see the version of iOS. There's the more information on the version, and then basic stuff that you can get from the show version, right? Except it's kind of like you doing show version for the other device, if that make any sense, right? Y'all know show versions, right? You show version, what version is running, and just basic, and you gather some basic information on the device, how long it's been up and running, the bootstrap information, post information, stuff like that. The management address not advertised. Just basic stuff right there. The VLAN ID we learned it from. Remember, by default is VLAN 1. Media attachment unit type. Don't know what the hell that is. I guess that's something else I'm gonna look up too. So y'all know, like when I'm done with this and I teach y'all like the basic stuff that we learned. Yeah, we're done, and we learned. So like the next task is task 5. It says here, now disable one of the interfaces to prevent it from sending LLDP traffic. So we need to go on gig 000 and turn off LLDP. But after I'm done with this, I'm gonna look up what initialization delay is, find out what media attachment unit type is. So do a little bit more studying after this. So, and I suggest you guys do the same, or if you're working on another topic, y'all do that too. So we want to turn off. Oh, what you could also do is if you do show neighbors. Oh, you can't do that on this either. But typically what you could do though is you could do show LLDP on a specific interface rather than just detail and list every LLDP neighbor. If you want to just show LLDP on one specific interface, you could do that. Like for example, I'll show you right now. What's a good thing I do got Packet Tracer turned on. I mean GNS3 turned on, right? So let's go ahead and turn back on CDP, right? You can do this with LLDP too though. So you just do CDP run, right? And now it's turned on, right? Do show CDP. We need to turn him on over here too. So CDP run, right? And then we can see CDP neighbors. Did we turn it on? We did turn it on. This is just the other lab, right? Show CDP neighbors. He's not showing the other guys a neighbor for some reason. Interesting. Show CDP neighbor. We did, yeah. Well, he's seeing them, but he is not. Let's see. Maybe it's a bug. I don't know. Who knows? Oh, that interface is not up. That's what it is. It should be. Show IP interface brief. Yeah, he's up. He's definitely up. So I don't know why he's not learning about the other router, but whatever. Man, GNS3 is about as stable as my relationships. Whatever. Well, let's go to this guy, right? So we wanted to see, let's say you wanted to see a specific interface, right? So you do show CDP neighbor and then FA00. So now, and then you add a detailed keyword towards it, and you can see the CDP neighbor for a specific interface, right? So router 2 right there, there's his information. There's the platform. We can see that it's a router, the outgoing port we learned it from, and basic information, the version of iOS it's running, etc. You should be able to do the same thing on LLDP, but I don't believe that's supported in Packet Tracer. Because see, now let's say we turn back on CDP, right? I know I'm getting a little off topic here, but I just want to show y'all real quick. So let's turn on CDP on this guy, CDP run, and then let's turn it on router this guy. CDP run, and then show CDP neighbor GI. You see, you should be able to do, you can't do by the interface there. You see, you can't do by interface over here. So that's just a feature that Packet Tracer does not take. So Brian says reinitialization. I'm not going to be able to say that word, y'all. Reinitialization is the time that LLDP takes to initialize after a reboot. Okay, good to know. I don't have to look that up after this lab. So you can change that timer using LLDP reinitialization and an amount of time. That's good to know, Brian. I'm glad you pointed that out. So now I know. Somebody give me some hooked on phonics. Reinitialization is the time LLDP takes to initialize after a reboot. So that's good to know. So the last task, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Y'all. I know I've been talking y'all ear off over here. Disable one of the interfaces to prevent it from sending LLDP. So could we do that by interface on Packet Tracer? Let's see. Show LLDP. Let's go to GI000 interface GI000. All right, and when we do a show LLDP detail or neighbors, we can see information on the neighboring device, right? We didn't do that yet, right? So yeah, the same. Yes, we did. We did show LLDP. So again, it's similar to show CDP neighbors, right? Except it's not for Cisco devices. It's for devices it's for non-Cisco devices, but it works on Cisco devices. Because notice we're using Cisco devices, but it's compatible with LLDP, which is considered an open standard, right? So we want to disable it on one of our interfaces. We're going to obviously do it on the one that's actually cabled up to the next router. You go to that global config mode for the interface, right? And you just do no LLDP enable or receive or transmit. So it said here they want us to prevent it from sending LLDP. So in this case, we're going to say no LLDP transmit, right? Not receive, because we're going to be receiving there. But so we're not going to transmit, but we will receive LLDP messages. Now this is from router 1's vantage point. Y'all see that? Is it fair to say CDP is usually turned off in the real world? Yes, it is. If it's out of the box. If it's out of the box. So by default, it's turned off. You need to turn it on. So when you say real world, define that. Do you mean real world like out the box? When you buy it from Arista or Extreme Networks? Or do you mean real world like in a production environment? Like if you go to, you know, a school or a hospital or some, you know, company. Do they use it? Is that what you're asking me when you say real world? Is it, in multi-vendor environment? Yes, that's what I meant, Brian. Every environment I've been in, it was turned off. Yes, but so that's why by default it's turned off, and most people be like, "Well, I have Cisco devices. What do I need to turn it on for? I'm gonna use CDP." So by default, it is turned off. So I guess if you want to say real world, yes, it's turned off. I don't know. I haven't checked at my job. Maybe I'll check tomorrow see if it's turned on, and just to see if it's turned on. But I know at my last job, I remember we was able to, they had a couple devices that had it turned on because we had Avaya phones. If you know anything about Avaya, there's obviously another vendor, and we had the phones connected to Cisco switches. So in order to see the Avaya phones, or at least at least to see as a discovery protocol, you got to run LLDP and not CDP because they're not Cisco phones, right? So, I see what you're saying, plant-based brother. So yes, in the real world, then that means yes, they're not turned off. So I guess it really depends on where you work at, because my last job, they did have it turned on. My current job, I'm not even sure. I know we have mostly a Cisco environment. I'll check tomorrow to double check though. So, well, I'm not gonna let y'all know. That's for security reasons, but I'll just check. These are layer 2 protocols. Don't forget, you can only see connected devices. That's correct, Pepper Jack. You cannot see devices through devices. That's correct. That's a good point too, Pepper Jack. So you can only see directly connected devices. So if I'm router 1, right, I can see only router 2. But if router 2 has router 3 connected to him, me as router 1, I'm not going to be able to see router 3. I can only see who's directly connected to me, physically connected to me. If that make any sense. So good point too, Pepper Jack. So I need to press enter so I can we can wrap this up, right? So I turned off LLDP on that interface, right? And we do show LLDP neighbors. So I'm not transmitting, but I'm receiving. So router 1 sees router 2 as an LLDP neighbor, right? But now if we go to router 2, this guy right here, so he, right? Let me bring that up for y'all to see. So he can see him as a neighbor, but can router 2 see router 1 as a neighbor? Let's test that theory out, right? We only, because we're not transmitting at that point. Router 1's not transmitting. So show LLDP neighbor. He does see him as a neighbor. Interesting. He's because he's not transmitting. Oh, did we turn it off though? It's rather interesting. Did we turn it off on gig 000 though? That's the question for you. No LLDP on gig 000. So he should not be receiving them. We're not transmitting, right? Let's verify that though. Show verify, right? So show LLDP, and see LLDP is active, and it says it's being sent every 30 seconds. Do y'all know, did we actually turn it off or not? Because we did no LLDP transmit. It should not be transmitting, right? Puppet Jack, you want to correct that for me? Correct me if I'm wrong here. But I should not be transmitting because of the fact that I did no LLDP transmit. It should not be sending every 30 seconds, right? Is there anything else I need to do? So this is the fact that Brian helped us figure out. So after a reboot, it waits 2 seconds before it starts sending LLDP. So we can do show LLDP neighbors. He sees him as a neighbor, and the other one sees him as a neighbor as well. So we did show CDP. It is turned on. Let's turn it off though. No CDP run. Show CDP, and it's turned off. Let's go to the other guy and turn him off. Right, because I was experimenting. No CDP run. Show CDP. So CDP is turned off, and then you should be able to do interface by interface too. Show LLDP right? You can only do neighbors in this case. And he can still see him as a neighbor. Let's turn it off altogether then. Let's do that. Let's go to global config mode, interface GI000, right? And do a no LLDP receive as well. We did no LLDP transmit, right? So now let's do show LLDP neighbors, and it's still turned on. That's rather interesting. I don't know. That might be a bug, man. Correct me if I'm wrong. Since plant-based brother, I know you got the newer version of iOS. Won't you let us know if you turn off LLDP per interface, what does the output tell us? Can you let us know? Because I have an older iOS version. And I'm not, GNS3 is not supporting it. And Packet Tracer is acting kind of funny with LLDP. It should have turned off. We should not be getting any kind of information on LLDP on that bad boy. So show LLDP on the other guy, router 2. Let's just not transmit at all on these interfaces, right? Get 000, no LLDP, transmit again on router 1. I did do that, so let's do it again. Watch. So on router 1, interface GI000, no LLDP, transmit, right? You said transmit, right? It worked for me. Okay, good to know, plant-based brother. This must be a packet tracer bug then. Show LLDP, and it says right there, still being sent. Does yours still say LLDP advertisements are sent every 30 seconds? Router 2 did not show any information. So if we go to router 2, we're not transmitting, right? We did no transmit. We also did no receive on this bad boy. So we should not be getting no information. So that must be a packet tracer bug, y'all. So we do, y'all know I always say that when things are not working for me, right? That must be a bug. It must be a bug. But I believe this is a bug because if you do show LLDP and then show LLDP neighbors, there it go. There it go. So now we're not getting information on it right there. We did no transmit and no receive, and now we're not getting information on it. Oh, maybe because the hold time. The hold time is every 120 seconds. So remember, that's the reason why. You can change the hold time too. I think that's what it is, y'all. The reason why, remember, the hold time is how long it takes before it discards information. So router 1 still had information. Let's see if he discarded it yet, right? Show LLDP neighbors. Now it's gone. That is the whole time information. That's the reason why, y'all. It doesn't just remove it immediately. It holds that information for 120 seconds, and then once he's no longer receiving it, he discards it after 100. So that's why the hold timer is important to know. That fact right there. Y'all see that? I thought it was a bug. I was like, oh yeah, I was trying to blame it on a bug, but no, it was the hold timer. True, it was the whole timer. Yes, plant-based brother. That's what it is. And this is why I love labbing. See, I wouldn't have known that if I didn't experiment with this stuff right here. So y'all see, this is why we got to do this. And then verify. That it took a show command for us to verify that. And then verify again when you're done. So let's go ahead and turn back on. Let's turn on the transmit. Let's just turn on transmit. So configure terminal and then interface GI000 LLDP transmit. So now I'm transmitting. We go to router 2 and then do a show LLDP neighbors. Now we're getting information on router 1. But we go back to router 1 and we do a show LLDP neighbors. He's not going to get any information because he's only transmitting CDP information. Does that make sense, y'all? True was the whole time. Yeah. Turn transmit back on and see. Yes. Receive. Yes. Good idea, Pepper Jack. Great minds think alike. So I think that's pretty much it, man. I did enough experimenting, enough talking y'all ear off, and that's the reason why. I tried to blame it on the bug, but I forgot about the hold time feature, right? So if you guys want to follow along next time, get you a copy of this book. There's a link in the description box below. This book is called 101 Labs, Cisco CCNA version 4. You get a copy of this from 101labs.net. Learn by doing. Y'all run me with that like button if y'all want to see some more of this stuff. Share this on your Twitter. Share this on your TikToks. Share this on your Instagram. Share this on Cisco Learning Network. Share this on any Discord servers you guys are. Man, just get people to follow along with us, and so that way we can learn this stuff. Today, we only work with 2 devices, man. Simple topology. We experimented deeply with LLDP. I'm going to try to get a newer version of iOS so that way we can learn more about this stuff and make sure that it works. What else I was gonna say? Yeah, y'all hit me with that like button, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button and get more people to join us so that way they'll learn. We're gonna get more deeper, more complex topologies. We'll have more than 2 devices. I promise y'all that. We'll learn about OSPF. We're gonna learn about NATing. We're gonna learn about wireless stuff, DHCP. We're gonna get more complex. So while we're doing the easy stuff, try to get more people to follow along. We'll get to the CCNP topics and hopefully CCIE topics and get more complex. Y'all know I make it simple. Experts agree that we retain only 10% of what we read, right? But 90% of what we do, which is why I always preach hands-on and stuff like that. So if you want to follow along, get a copy of this book from 101labs.net. There's a link in the description box below. It's an affiliate link, so I get a commission if y'all click it and get the book or whatever. I don't want to get demonetized or my YouTube channel taken down, because that link last time, I guess I forgot to put in there that it's an affiliate link. I don't know why they took me down. It was the robot that did it. So once they had a human review my channel, they brought me back online. They said, this dude's channel is fire, man. Don't take him down like that. What are your plans when we finish this book? What are my plans? That's a good question. I said I wanted to do some more collab stuff with my man Patrick Kinane. I'll leave a link for his channel. He has a YouTube channel as well, and he does a lot of more like voice and video stuff. So I want to do some more collabs with him. I also wanted to, so there's a CCNP version of this book. So it's one step above this, right? More complex topics. It's more stuff on the CCNP exams, the Encore and an RC. But it's not, those are 2 separate tests, but a lot of the topics intertwine with each other, right? So we're going to be learning stuff from both of those exams. So if you're going to be taking an Encore exam, follow along. We'll be doing that. If you're taking an RC exam, follow along. We'll be doing stuff from that. It'll be from that book. There's a CCNP version of this book. We'll be doing stuff from that. That's my plans for that. What else I wanted to do? Again, they also have a Linux version of this book. They also have a Wireshark version of this book. I want to maybe sprinkle some of that stuff, but I love routing and switching, which is why I want to focus on more of that stuff. So I want to do more routing and switching, and I'll probably stick to that. And then maybe when I get bored, maybe I'll start adding more stuff. Like I wanted to do like a Firewall Fridays or something like that, or start doing some more like stuff on Sunday when my daughter's asleep, and like Sunday morning or something. I want to try to do this stuff like 7 days a week and actually lab every day. But for now, I got a life. I work. I have a daughter, so that's why he's the only reason why I do it Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If y'all want to join. If y'all have any other questions or anything like that, let me know. Put it in the chat below. I just looked how many labs in the book. We'll be here a while. Yes, man. 101 labs, man. Think about it. There's 101 labs. We're only on lab 33, and this only had look at that, only 2 networking devices here, man. The more deeper you get into this book, they start adding there's stuff in here. There's 15, not 15. There's about most of the time they practice this stuff with 2 devices and stuff like that. But if y'all want, we'll start putting the labs together. My supervisor said he learned a lot of stuff by he'll start out with 2 devices, right? And when he learns another technology, he'll add 2 more, and then add 3 more, and then you'll have this huge lab and see how these technologies work with each other, right? So you'll see how NATing works with DHCP, how OSPF works with BGP, etc., and see how these technologies work with each other and stuff like that. So if y'all want to do that, we can do that and just create one massive lab. But like I said, I like to keep it simple like this, and I don't want people to log on to this, log on to my or get onto these streams and they see this huge topology, and a lot of newbies will get intimidated by it. So I want people to follow along and stuff like that. So I bought the CCNP version. I'm taking 350 401. Oh, that's what's up, plant-based brother. There is a CCNP version of this book. So y'all got any other questions or anything like that? Let me know. Y'all leave a comment down below for anything else y'all want to see, or if you got any other ideas. I also said I was going to do a interview series called Interview with a CCIE. I want to wait till I have a lot more subscribers and stuff like that before I start interviewing people and stuff. So, but I do have a lineup of some people that I've got so far that I'm going to be interviewing and stuff for my channel. These guys are very inspirational. And there's some people that, like I said, they are at a level that I want to be at. So that's why I want to interview them, get some advice from them, and hopefully, inspire some of you guys as well. Again, hit me with that like button, man. Hit me with that like button. Y'all, make any suggestions in the comment down below. In other words, comment, like, subscribe to the network.